Now, let's see what we have here. On Q2, it gives some indication of that because this is kind of interesting. I wrote a letter to our owners, and it was dated February 26th, and that was a Saturday, released. But I write the letter all through the year in my mind. I mean, I don't, we don't have anybody that sits out and writes out the letter or anything like that. I mean, this is a letter between partners, and I write the letter all year in my head. I'm writing next year's letter. I don't write out the words, but I have things I want to tell my partners. My sister's a partner, and I'm writing to her in my head. My older sister died not too long ago, but I used to be writing to both of them, in effect. And I want to tell her, what I think and about the business and what I think she ought to think about it and so on. So the letter's dated February 26th, and I said not much is going on. And actually, we might jump over to Q3, if we will. So I sent out a letter on February 26th, but that wasn't written on February 26th. And I said, basically, nothing much is happening around here. And I said, we've repurchased some shares, and we just aren't seeing anything. And between January 1st and February 18th, as you can see, we spent $2.2 billion, which is half the quarter, so probably 30 trading days in there. And we sold them. So that basically we didn't do anything. And then in the next 3 weeks or thereabouts, we spent $40 billion. And incidentally, when I say we spent $40 billion, there's one fellow in the office that does this all. I mean, he buys all the stocks, he buys the government bonds. He doesn't have an assistant or anything. But he spent $41 billion. Yeah, and he literally, I mean, and he does other things for me too. He puts together totals. He just does what he needs to do, and he's worked in other jobs in Berkshire long ago, but he likes doing what he does, and he does it very well, and we don't have a department for it. Then, as you can see, it fell off after that, and we did also in the first quarter, we spent about 3.1 or 3.2 billion, somewhere in that, for repurchasing shares. And we didn't, we talked about that in the annual report. And as Charlie would say, it was keeping us out of bars. I mean, that gave us something to do. We never do anything that we don't think adds to the value of Berkshire Hathaway, though. So we only repurchase the shares when that is the most attractive thing to do. We haven't repurchased any shares at all in April. So it's people who are looking for all these prints in the, footprints in the woods and all that is what we're doing. We're just doing it day by day as it comes along. And I think this table kind of illustrates that we spent $40 billion in a hurry there in 3 weeks. And now we're back somewhat in our more lethargic mood. But anything could change at Berkshire. But the one thing that won't change, going back to Q2, if you'll, is we will always have a lot of cash on hand.